All right, Mike Messier. February 4th, 2018. Women do not plan any events on Super Bowl Sunday, February 4th, 2018. Now, I've told you in 10 seconds what not to do, so please don't do it. Women, and I've experienced this in my life, women never fully grasp or understand or check the calendar for when the Super Bowl is. So typically what happens, and it's only happened to me twice in my life, but women will plan events, they'll put money down on a venue, they'll make calendars and schedules, and they'll make their little event, and they won't take the time, which takes about 2 grand seconds, to check the calendar for what day is Super Bowl Sunday. They'll plan their event, they'll send this email out, or they'll make these invitations, these grandiose plans, and then what happens is, nobody really thinks about February 4th, 2018, but then gradually people start realizing, oh shit, that's Super Bowl Sunday and Margaret's got this thing going on, and we said we'd go, but we didn't realize it was Super Bowl Sunday, because everybody's caught up in Christmas and New Year's, and February just kind of sneaks up on you in the aftermath of all that. So Margaret and her dinner party, or her big event, her Tupperware party, or her yoga class, or her yarn group, now she's got a problem, because all these guys, all these husbands and single guys or whoever she was expecting to come and support her banquet or her pearl making contest or whatever the fuck, suddenly the male contingency has no interest in Margaret's thing. And the female contingency is, oh, but we told Margaret we'd go to her thing, just watch the game on the TV in the background, or just check your phone, or just tape it. So you have basically a gender crisis, which is usually the woman's fault in this case, because the woman planning the event hasn't done her due diligence. So I'm just cutting to the chase. February 4th, 2018, do not plan any events, women. Just don't do it, because you're going to make people uncomfortable and upset, and then men have to defend themselves. Oh, why are we watching the Super Bowl instead of going to Margaret's Tupperware party or whatever the fuck Margaret's doing, or her class, or her seminar? It's because men are men. And if you just want to watch the Super Bowl one day out of the year for a man to watch the Super Bowl, and women should watch the Super Bowl too for the commercials, and we need someone to get the nachos and the beer. So women, if you're planning an event, whether it's a wedding, if you want to do a winter wedding, or you want to do a Tupperware party, do not plan your event, whether it's just, because even if you just invite women, the women are going to say, oh, well, my boyfriend really wants me to watch the Super Bowl with them. Then you're going to get into all these crises. Just avoid it. So once again, for the nth time, mark your little calendar books now. Buy your advanced calendar. 2018, February 4th, it's a Sunday. Now you might be wondering, well, what time does the game start? Because if the game starts at 6, I can have my event at 3. No, don't do anything that day. They haven't announced the time of the Super Bowl yet. So yeah, they keep you in suspense. They might have it at 6, they might have it at 5, they might have it at 7. It depends on factors that are beyond me. Last year, I'll give you a little case in fucking point, I was signed up for a class, an adult education class. Well, the little teacher sent out the schedule, and she had the dates marked, and I was like, ooh, that's an interesting one. That's a Sunday at 6 in February, early February. I wonder if that's the Super Bowl Sunday. And guess what it was? So I had to explain to the class. And it was basically me and 2 other guys and about 15 women. And of course, one guy had a ponytail, so he didn't count. And I just said, hey, everybody, this happens to be on, Super Bowl Sunday. And these women just gushed and goshed, like it was beyond them why I would care. Well, but we're doing our class. No, we're not. You might be, but I won't be here. So I rescheduled for another seminar, because it's just beyond me that women can't take 2 seconds to Google Super Bowl. And maybe it doesn't occur to them. So now I'm giving you the occurrence forewarning. Now, women, you might be thinking, okay, Mike, we got it. It's February 4th, 2018, and every Super Bowl hereafter. You have to do it every year too. You have to do it every single year. You can't schedule your event on any Super Bowl Sunday ever, okay? Now here's the next thing, playoffs. Okay, now it gets complicated. It gets complicated, ladies, Because throughout the month of January 2018 and every year thereafter, you really don't want to plan to do anything, because you could schedule on any given weekend, especially Saturday or Sunday, and maybe your Fridays, do something on a Friday because they don't play football on Fridays. So in January of every year, on both Saturdays and Sundays, because of the NFL playoff schedule, they might have a playoff game that conflicts with your little Tupperware party or your wedding. So for the most part, don't plan events in January or up to February 4th. After that, February 11th, whatever, the next Sunday and so forth, go ahead. But if you're planning events in January, you might have your home team, whether it's the Patriots or the Redskins or the Cleveland Browns or whoever the fuck, they might be playing a game during your event. And because it's the playoffs, they'll start playing games on Saturday as well. So that's why it's really hard. And even in December, you have important games that have playoff repercussions, as they call them, playoff circumstances. So women, check your NFL schedule. If you need to talk to a man to fully explain this further, please do. But I'm just looking out for you. If you expect men to show up to your events in January, or especially February 4th, 2018, or any Super Bowl Sunday, but also the playoffs, and the playoff schedule is not announced until you actually get into the playoffs. So you don't know which teams are playing when. And what you don't really understand is that women might say, well, we're from Cleveland. Our team never plays in the Super Bowl anymore. It doesn't matter. Men still want to watch the Super Bowl regardless if their team is in it or not. Women never get that. So basically, women, they're trying to intelligence you a little bit, trying to make you smarter than you are about this topic. I know women are very intelligent, usually smarter than men in most sensitivity areas, but women have a blind spot to the sensitivity of men. They don't think that men actually want to watch the Super Bowl. Even if the guy's got a ponytail, even if he doesn't talk about sports or like sports, men have to watch the Super Bowl. It's part of the fucking rules. So just respect that for a change. Do not schedule your event on February 4th, 2018, Super Bowl Sunday. And for the most part, don't schedule anything in January either. Just take the month off from your little Tupperware parties and your weddings and your bat mitzvahs or whatever the fuck else. So that's Mike Messier, helping women help themselves. MikeMessier.com. Once again, check the playoff schedules. Other events, it gets tricky, ladies. I'll give you that. I mean, because then you have like World Series, and you never know if they're going to go Game 4 to Game 7. You have hockey. You have all these sports. But let's keep it simple for you right now. Just, maybe check the ESPN website or something. But just for women, Super Bowl Sunday, February 4th, 2018. If we get into wrestling, then it's another thing, and we won't do that right now. We'll keep it simple. February 4th, 2018. Do not schedule your Tupperware parties, ladies. Thanks.